Good morning, everyone. So we'll just go through the market review for this week. This is how the world markets have performed this week. Dow Jones up 2.5%, DAX about 2.3% up. Bullions have performed really well, and other markets are kind of flattish. Bullions have given a breakout, so a lot of momentum around that. Dow Jones has completely changed the trend of the market in the last 1 month. In exactly 1 month, we see this kind of a rally with momentum on almost all time frames. The monthly is near resistance of 60, so we may see some halt over here. If it breaks out from here, then we know that okay, it's going to continue with the rally, and it is just around 1.5 or 1.9% away from all-time high. So we know if Dow may see resistance around that level, so it can consolidate or see some profit booking over there. But if it breaks the all-time high levels of 36,950, then we know there's going to be a fresh rally in the market in US itself. So the whole recession fear, while I won't say recession is completely out, there will be slowdown impact on the companies over there. But all the negatives would have got discounted, and the market rally will continue. Something similar what we had discussed 2 weeks back, where interest rates was rising, but the world markets eventually discounted it and moved up. The similar scenario is now being replicated this year also. So I think the worst is discounted everywhere. Nasdaq is strong on all time frames, continuing, and this is around 3.5%, below the all-time high. The growth stocks are clearly moving up, so I don't see panic anywhere now anymore. S&P, which I had said in the last presentation that needs to break out. This was a resistance. It has broken out from there. Once it crosses this level of 4,600, we'll see a fresh momentum starting in S&P 500. Now that is a broader market index of US. So if this breaks out and this moves, we know there's going to be a very strong broader market move across the globe, which normally all markets replicate. Nikkei is hovering around the all-time high. It's a 30-year, resistance, so it's not going to be very easy to crack. But once it cracks, we know Japan is headed for a long-term bull rally. Germany, on the other hand, has given up all the gains. It was like India trending, but it has not been able to sustain. It's just getting weaker by the week. So hopefully it should bottom out in the next 1 or 2 weeks and then consolidate and move up. Sorry. USD INR hovering around highs, attempting to break out but unable to. Even if it consolidates, it's good. If it breaks out, will help the IT sector further. Oil, if you see, after the head and shoulder breakdown, it has been consolidating. Now, any one of you can tell me what are these two candles over here? And what do they signify? We have done this. Sonal, what are the candles?
Floating star, is it?
No, it's inverted hammer.
Yeah, it's inverted hammer.
So we take a pause over here. Wait for some reversal candle to form. If that happens, this breakdown may fail or it may just consolidate. But let's assume this it breaks down from here and inverted hammer doesn't work, then the fall is likely to continue, as I had said earlier. So this is a little indecisive right now. Let's see what happens. Gold, there was a double top. It was not breaking out, but this week it has broken out and there's a rally continue starting in this. You can expect at least about a 2,000, 3,000 points rally in this further. So gold is quite strong. It's strong on all time frames, on RSI also. Silver is very interesting. Silver has made a cup and handle and it is at the resistance line. If it breaks out from here, we are looking at, and by the way, last week I had said 74,000 on Monday, and it'll test 77,900. It is just right over there. So any short-term trades, be watchful over here. If it reverses down, you can exit and book your profit. But breakout from here, the immediate target is approximately around 25,000 points upside. It will not achieve immediately. It will build up over a period of time. But this is going to be a very strong, almost a 3-year or 2-year breakout. So upside on silver will be substantial. If it breaks out, please build up your positions for longer term. Don't need to look at silver in the short term. You will make a lot of money holding it and rolling over also, or if you can buy physical. Don't miss out on silver. And I've been reading a lot of reports on silver. If this breakout happens, the ultimate target for silver is coming around 1.5 to 2 lakhs in over the next few years. So if anyone wants to look at even for a very long term, please look at silver. Sorry. So Indian markets, there's nothing to talk about. We know how it has played the entire last 2 weeks. This week also we have seen all sectors moving up, equal weight. All sectors are doing really well, and in fact, Nifty is now at all-time high. Bank Nifty equal weight also is at all-time high. So clearly, the Indian market is trending. Now we are bullish on all time frames. Last week, weekly was at 60, which was the resistance. It's clearly broken out of that. And now we have broken out about the recent high also. So we are now into all-time high. There's a fresh breakout and this rally should continue. For immediate, I'm looking at 20,700 and 20,900 as a target. Sorry. So around those levels, we may see some halt or some profit booking. So this should continue from here. And just for, let's say, this breakout fails over here, which doesn't look like, obviously, we have this trend line support over here. Equal weight index, it's clearly doing well on all time frames. But yesterday's candle on daily is a little indecisive. So may see some stock-wise correction in the next 1 or 2 weeks. So when all time frames are trending, every dip becomes a buy until there is a negative candle that is formed. Now, Nifty P is at 21.52, still very well placed. We are not overbought. Earnings remains at 935. We were very, lucky to have entered the Nifty at the bottom at 18,800, considering the valuation and the support. We had not been very negative in this fall from 20,200 to 18,800 because stock-wise momentum was still going on. And that also helped us pick up the market at the bottoms almost. And we have trended all the way up until now. Sorry, Bank Nifty, which was sideways, has completely changed the game in the last 1 week. You see the weekly candle quite bullish. The daily and monthly RSI is also strong. Just the weekly is a little sideways, but that also should pick up. One of the reasons is not all banks are moving. Banks are moving very selectively. So private banks, which I had mentioned earlier also, Axis and ICICI Bank have contributed a lot in this momentum of Bank Nifty. So along with Canara Bank. So all the three banks that, though we are holding Axis and Canara Bank, we don't have, we have ICICI. HDFC and all are not yet participating, and I don't see hopes from them yet. Be very selective with the banks. This should help even the Nifty continue with the rally. The candle for the week is quite bullish. So next couple of weeks also, we should see the banks trending pretty well. Mid-cap, the rally continues. Personally, I feel it is overstretched and needs a correction. It is important that you don't get trapped in the euphoria. So adding now any mid and small cap stocks will not be considered. We'll rather look at booking profits in what we are holding, either at peaks or we can't obviously time it, or using stop losses. But we need to be really watchful with mid and small cap and not get trapped in the euphoria. And this is something I've been saying for quite some time. So we have not been added big, but we are just holding on what we have. Same goes with small cap. The rally is substantial. It's overstretched on all time frames, though it is continuing with the trend. So we have not really exited many stocks, but we'll continue and exit on trailing stop losses. Auto sector, again, trending on all time frames, but some profit booking is needed. Yesterday's candle points out to some correction that can come in. If it once corrects to the mean, we'll have an opportunity to add them again. So again, it'll be very stock specific. We have exited Maruti and M&M for the same reason, because even the candles were not really good. M&M being at almost making a double top. If it breaks out next week, we can re-enter them. Otherwise, we'll wait for a correction in them. FMCG, has broken out. FMCG continues to trend. ITC looks good. I'll explain that in the next stocks. IT will take its own time. Weekly, monthly are not very strong. So again, very stock specific. 2-3 of them are moving. Apart from that, I don't see any momentum in most of the stocks. Even if there is, it'll be very short-lived. Metals is breaking out and very selectively. Aluminum stocks are doing better than the steel. Steel is yet to pick up. I would not want to get into steel stocks in the middle of the rally. I'll rather wait for a breakout and enter on confirmations. Pharma strong on all time frames. We have to be a little stock specific here also. The only issue with pharma is all the news that we get with US FDA and all that, their inspections and their clearances, which impact stocks. If you would have seen how Cipla got beaten down the other day because of the news. So going big in pharma stocks is always a challenge for that reason, because a lot of things are not in the control of the Indian government or the company itself. A lot happens because of the global news that impacts it. So we'll be a little watchful about the stocks and the quantity also. PSU trending very strong. There is no sign of correction, but again overstretched. We have seen REC, PFC not stopping at all. The rally going on one way. But yeah, be a little watchful in this for a drawdown. If that happens, it's better to exit and re-enter near support. But yeah, be a little careful and not add further from this level. What we have, we'll stick on to like BL and all. PSU banks, good entry level. Monthly, weekly are trending very well. Daily almost at 60 in reverse. So we got a good entry in Canara Bank and it's clearly playing out really well. PNB again was playing out really well. Not all PSU stocks are that strong, but these two have overall been good. And we'll continue adding Canara Bank as it moves up. Private banks, weekly is clearly sideways, monthly is still better. Very selective movement, not all stocks supporting it. So again, we'll stick to the ICICI and Axis itself, not look at any other stock beyond that. Reality, clearly trending. Any dip in this will be an opportunity to buy. So DLF remains our favorite. Shriram Property remains our favorite. So we'll continue with these two. Oberoi, anyone has, please continue holding it, which I had said about a month back. But apart from that, I'm not looking at any other stocks in reality for now. So Nifty goes into all-time high, 20,700 and 900 is what I expect. Bank Nifty is going to support it clearly. Autos, selectively, metals. I prefer aluminum stocks over here. So we'll be very selective in the positions that we are holding. Market is trending, so we'll hold on to the positions what we have and add in them rather than trying to play every breakout in every stock. So there are a lot of breakout happening, but that doesn't mean that we jump into each of them. We'll continue holding what we have and we are comfortable with that. So we'll try to pyramid that and maximize the profit in that rather. Euphoria is building up in mid and small cap stocks, which as I said, let's be a little cautious over there. It's good to be wise. So last few weeks, a lot of our future positions did not do well the way our equity positions were doing in mid and small. Clearly, the large caps were lagging behind and now this has picked up. So large caps will now play out and all the future positions which are lagging will clearly pay off now. So that 1.5 months of patience that it has tested of ours will pay off clearly. So let's now focus on the large cap stocks. So these are the sectors we'll continue to look at, banking, FMCG, metal, reality, and pharma. And we have a combination of that except FMCG. So we'll just stick to these. Now, Canara Bank, I had said on Monday in the presentation, which we had sent to all of you to, good support in this range of 386, 389. It has clearly moved out of from there itself and given almost about 420 odd levels. I'm looking at 429 as the first target. If it moves out of about 429, then we look at 460. Ambuja Cement is a nice breakout. And once it crosses this high over here, which is around 450, 455, it'll be a good entry point for about 480. So keep your eyes on Ambuja Cement in the coming days. Apollo Tire, we had it. Now this is a nice cup pattern breakout, good volume at the breakout point. Next week, above the high of this candle is a good entry point. We can start building the positions, positional for a target of 517. So please keep all these stocks in your mind. Please note them. You can do small trades in equity also in them. It's not necessary to buy big, even a small quantity. The stocks that we discuss on Saturday, please, even if we don't initiate a call in them, you can consider buying even a small quantity. Don't ignore them. Amar Raja Battery, again, a very nice, a fall which we had seen, a nice consolidation, and now it's breaking out. Yesterday, it has broken out, good volumes again. So next week, if it sustains about this week's high, please start accumulating it, and you can look at a good target of 1100 in this. So almost around 300 points upside. So your risk reward is very apt in this because you can keep a stop loss of around 760 or so. Hero Motors. Now we had given Hero Motors again last week when it had closed above the resistance line. This is again a nice cup pattern breakout. This week has been really good for Hero Motors. You can see this rally. This is a daily chart. So though we have not initiated a call on this, but we had shared this with you a couple of weeks back as well as last week. So see, these cup patterns, never ignore them. Please take even small quantities in equity and hold them. Sometimes the movement can be very quick, like what has happened in Hero Motors. So you can make some really quick money, and look at the volumes. What is important is the volume constantly going up in this. Axis Bank, I had mentioned on Saturday, on the Monday's presentation also, it has given a 5% or 10% upside very comfortably this week. And it is continuing to trend. So we are not going to exit this very soon. And ICICI Bank, again, looking at 960. At 960, we'll review it and revise a target for further upside. Lupin, again, similar pattern breakout. It has closed above the resistance line. It's a good weekly close. The volumes are not very convincing, but next week, if it closes above this, it's another stock that you should add on to your portfolio, even in small quantities, looking at a target of 1900 in the longer term. Bharat Forge broken out. It's a very short pattern breakout. So the upside also we're looking at is just about 150 points from here, but that is also like 10%. Exide, we initiated the call yesterday. Very similar pattern breakout. This cup breakouts are sure short movement. 90% is the success rate. So don't ignore these. Again, as it builds up about 295, 300, we'll add Exide more. We're looking at a short-term target of 340 and then eventually 450. Now, Hindalco, after this whole, fall and this consolidation, this is the resistance zone. It has broken out of that. Next week, if it crosses this week's high, is a good entry level. So around 530, 540. If it sustains, please look at buying Hindalco. You can even the short term, you can look at least about a 10% upside. Indigo, now we see how it has retested. We had discussed, that it should reverse after retesting over here. It has moved up well. Even in the short term, there's another cup that is being formed. So once this highs are crossed, we know it is headed for 3200. So considering most of the stocks, Indigo looks really strong to me. ITC, what I had discussed down, this is a daily good candle that has formed. Even the volumes are rising. So it's a nice, this volume points out to a lot of indication of this reversal, doing really well. Now, this will be the first area of resistance. So you can look at around 460 as your first target. Once it crosses above 460, the next target will be 494. So ITC among the FMCG looks really good to me. We'll probably initiate a call on this in the coming week. So after Hindalco, now we are looking at Nalco. Nalco also retested the breakout zone. It has consolidated here. So once it crosses 94, 95 levels, you can look at it for 104, 100 or 111, which is another about 10% to 15% upside. So next week also let it sustain. A lot of you immediately, as soon as it crosses 94, 95, have a habit of buying it. Don't do that. Let it sustain for a while. Even if you have to buy even a rupee more at, let's say, 97, doesn't matter. But don't jump onto the prices immediately on breakout. Have some patience, let it sustain. Tata Power, honestly, I am a little skeptical of power companies only because of the elections and all the freebies that the governments keep declaring and all that. But Tata Power for the last about 1.5 years has consolidated very well in this. So this is a nice demand zone of what Tata Motor has. It is reverse from there, faring up really well. There was a lot of volume consolidation in this entire range in Tata Power. So if Tata Power moves out of 290 to 295 zone, then you can see a good approximately a 100-point upside. And a 100-point upside is going to be like 30-35%. I would prefer this in equity than futures only because of the concerns I have about the power sector. So about 295, please keep Tata Power also in your mind. Sonar can decide to give a call on this or no, but you guys can consider. Personally speaking, avoid futures in this. Don't jump into futures for Tata Power. So among the stocks, this is what I had to discuss.